Sup guys, Sakai here with part 3 of the vlog, and so I'm actually in a Portugal hotel room right now with Lisbon, and I'm here on a choir tour. But anyways, I'm going to talk more about the choir tour in a later part of the vlog, but basically part 3 is going to cover my entire evening, which covers 2 of my classes, my free period, Bible study, and I'm going to include a bonus section about the school dance culture. So as always, if you don't want to be featured in this video, if there's content of you in this video that you want removed, just let me know immediately, please, and I hope you guys enjoy. So, are you eating a nice... So our school has 2 places where students can buy refreshments if they choose. The first is the Blue Gray Cafe, which sells a bunch of breakfast items, such as this bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and the second is the school store, both of which I'll touch on it later in this video. Bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. There's Tim again. For all you Tim fans out there, don't worry, I have no shortage of Tim content coming up in the next part of the vlog. There's Zach Minkin. This is Zach Minkin, who's a junior that's both a member of the MIAA championship winning water polo team and a member of the unbeatable mock trial hounds. He's a pretty cool guy that's well known for annoying Simon Sheehan with his high-pitched exclamations in the swimming locker room. And this is Cameron Amiot, who we saw in the last part of the video reviewing lunches. He's an avid runner who's known for simply defying description, in a good way. One time, he willingly ran for more than 12 hours, if I remember correctly, to support the Wounded Warrior Project. The first class of the day is going to be stats, but I'm going to see if I can get some life. Hello. Good morning. So usually before every assembly, I'll get like 10 lifesavers so my friends and I can munch on them during assembly, which can go for pretty long sometimes. Aaron Cansavoy is confident that this is actually an addiction, but nobody listens to Aaron, so make of it what you will. Morning. Take a few. Thank you. You too. So now I'm walking from Cary Hall, which is the mains building of the upper school, to the science building, which is one of the buildings on my back. My first class of the day is AP Statistics, which although is mostly a math class, also has some science aspects and due to a lack of space, is held and taught by Mr. Shattuck, who was my biology teacher last year. Mr. Shattuck's one of the chillest people I've ever seen on the face of the planet. You'll get to meet him in a second. What's up? Now, I'm going to give you the answer to one of the world's most sought-after questions. A question more important than what is the meaning of life, more important than how do we achieve world peace, and perhaps equally as important as why did Mr. Doss give me a 15-problem homework on annoying general solution problems. Well, how do you tell the difference between the Shkolnik Bros? Well, let's see if you can finally figure it out for yourself. Well, their names are different. Bros. What's up, little bro? Hello. This little guy is Augie, who's Mr. Shattuck's young Pembroke Welsh Corgi. This guy's probably the most spoiled dog I ever seen on the face of the planet, because there's one time where I shared one of my Cheetos with him, and every single class since he has refused to leave me alone and just sits by my desk looking at me patiently, waiting for me to give him food that will inevitably not come. Statistics is probably the easiest AP class I've ever taken, only because it's taught by Mr. Shattuck. Mr. Shattuck is so chill, but our class is so like, not ready to learn that we rarely get anything done. And then whenever a test comes around, all the kids who are just not doing anything in the class absolutely freak out and start screaming at him, and it's just the funniest thing ever. But whenever Mr. Shattuck's teaching a class, you know it's going to be chill, but we've had it easier than some other statistics people have, that's for sure. Oh, yes, Mr. Shattuck. So unfortunately, one thing that I figured out after I've taken all these vlogs and when I film for next time is to always ask a teacher for permission, because here Mr. Shattuck just shut me down, unfortunately. If I remember correctly, Mr. Shattuck and Jackson Barnhill did get into a yelling match later in this class, so it's a big shame I didn't know that. And our next class is kind of the same, so damn it. So for seniors, every senior has to fulfill an English requirement, and that can be done by either taking a full in-year English class or 2 English electives. I chose to take an elective, and I'm walking back to Cary Hall from the science building for my film as literature class.
So this is where my next class is. Currently, AP Art History is going on in this class. So this is our next classroom. Today is our second to last class of all time. Actually, it's a class called Film as Literature. And we're just working on final projects, and we're going to discuss the film Double Indemnity with Phyllis Dietrichson in it.
So now that I've mentioned it, I have no choice but to talk about it. So Double Indemnity is probably one of the craziest films I've ever seen. So basically, some insurance salesman gets duped by some cunning and evil wife named Phyllis Dietrichson to murder her husband. But like the way that the salesman gets tricked into it kind of makes no sense. The movie gets like really wild. It's like some 1940s movies were just something else.
Pretty cool film.
It's nighttime now. So, film as literature was kind of a cool class, but it wasn't really what I was expecting. So I was kind of naive and was expecting a class that kind of where we just watched film and talked about it, but it was definitely not that. We learned a lot about actual details of film, such as mise-en-scene and like how they shoot film, different angles, as well as the history of film throughout the years. So I learned a lot of cool things in that class that I would have never realized from the movies, but it was just it was much more technical than I expected, and that caused some people to just not like the class. But the one critique I had about that class in particular is how Mr. Rowell, who was our teacher, we would have these quote unquote graded discussions, and in these graded discussions, what he would do is he would just take charge and he would ask us a bunch of pre-selected questions as opposed to having us actually talk amongst ourselves and lead something like a fishbowl, and that was just one of my biggest pet peeves and something that I didn't like to do. Oh, and he also graded you on participation, and the highest grade that he gave out was a 96%, I think. So, like, dude, come on, dude.
Vlogging.
You're vlogging?
Yeah.
How's the vlog?
Vlog's going pretty nice. What class did you just come from?
What you remember about a class specifically tells you both what was, one, most important to you about that class, and two, whether you liked that class or not. Most of my memories from film class come from the 20-minute passing period just before class begun, or the one time where I walked up to ask Mr. Rowell for help, sorry, no offense to Mr. Rowell, and I caught wind of his breath. I tried so hard not to gag, but Mr. Rowell is a very nice, genuine person otherwise. I kind of think it's interesting how he seems to, like, exhale every single time he talks, like, "Hi, my name is Mr. Rowell." But the class wasn't, in my honest opinion, handled as well as it could have.
Ooh, interesting. Or what are you writing for the final paper?
So, I filmed this video in late January, and this is actually the second to last time that we would ever meet in this class. And so we are working on our final paper, which was to talk about mise-en-scene in one of the tragedy films, such as Double Indemnity and so on. I ended up talking about the differences between Phyllis Dietrichson and silent film, and so that was a pretty cool final project.
For what?
What are you writing for the paper in this class?
In this class?
Yeah.
Well, I've only seen one of the two movies I need to watch. So, that's not good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
No, I'm not playing
This
Pokemon.
guy knows every single Pokemon in existence. He's a literal encyclopedia, so...
Literal. No, I'm not a literal encyclopedia.
Not to mention,
That
this
was
guy's
too
drawing
ideal.
skills are also insanity.
Well, no, if I was a literal encyclopedia, I'd be a book, okay? That's not, I'm not a book.
Well, your brain could pass as one.
So everyone has that one thing that they just know literally every single fact about. And for Burke, that's Pokemon. So I can literally there's a website called Guess That Pokemon where it shows the shadow outline of a Pokemon and Burke can get every single one right. I show a photo of any Pokemon to Burke, he'll get it right. And there's over 800 Pokemon in existence. It's kind of the same with me and historical tornadoes, but let's be honest, no one cares about that.
Yes.
Isekai, do you know which Pokemon this is?
What Pokemon this is?
This one.
No, I don't. What region is this?
That's Generation 4.
Oh, so that's
very-
the
it's-
Sinnoh region.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pokemon that-
Yeah, I'm feeling like today being a free period, right, Bert? Yeah. Joseph schooling in action right here.
So I don't know why, but over the last summer, I've become really obsessed with getting good at swimming. So I've been studying techniques of Olympic swimmers, especially here, Joseph Schooling, who's one of my idols because of our similarities in both skin color and body type. And I've also reached out to a bunch of the great swimmers in the tri-school community and beyond, and have asked them a lot about techniques just to kind of see what things are commonly being said. And I'm trying to follow those to the best of my ability to become a better swimmer myself. And they've helped so much.
2306, not bad. Nice. Burke is over here trying to catch Dialga El Pro, I think.
Yeah, that's Dialga Pro.
Dialga El Pro.
I don't think he's gonna kill me with that yet. He didn't.
I'm just vlogging a normal school day in my life, that's all. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful.
Nice. Are you excited for a second?
This is Kate. Kate's one of the nicest people that I've ever met. That is, if you're on her good side. She's got absolutely no tolerance for bullshit.
Last class.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
this
watched
is in last
Ladybird.
class.
That's what I'm going to talk about today.
Yeah, I also watched Double Indemnity, so that was nice. Oh, I see.
Like most high schoolers in this day and age, Kate and I actually didn't watch the two movies like we were supposed to because since it was the final paper, we knew that we would have no quiz on it in class and we could just get by with the summary. So if you're watching this video and somehow haven't entered high school yet, just go bookmark the website sparknotes.com. It is a literal lifesaver. Okay, so how the hell did we get here? Mr. Rao was literally the one teacher that I've had this year who collected our phones consistently before the start of class, and my permission to film, that class was rejected, so whatever, I guess. I don't have a class in third period, so I usually chill with Burke and Simon in Centennial Hall. So this room is called Centennial Hall. It's a room in which I have a lot of funny stories from. So in 10th grade, basically this is the common room. So my friends and I would often hang out at the exact table that the boys are sitting at right now. I may or may not have thrown and shattered my phone out of rage quitting Brawl Stars at some point during that year, but how about we just not open that can of worms, I reckon.
I don't know, just say anything. Yeah, it's recording right now, yeah. What's up, guys? Yeah, that's Alan.
That's Alan at the far left. Alan is such a nice person and a hard worker. You should see that the monster that this dude unleashes in the weight room and on the wrestling mat. He's always checking in on his bros to make sure if they're okay, and he has a high sense of respect for all of those that know him well. He's a role model type of kid.
Right there, Charlie.
That's Charlie Fenwick, who has an unbreakable habit of coming in late to every China and East Asia literature class, which prompts Mr. Goldman to make a variety of interesting comments about the situation.
Charlie Fenwick.
That's Bo Webster, who's an all-around varsity sportsman in both hockey and lacrosse, and is just such a radiantly positive guy and fun guy to be around.
That's Bo, and that's
Oscar Wilson, who's so good at lacrosse that he's actually committed to the University of Stanford. I got to know Oscar really well over senior retreat, and hearing all the stuff he had to deal with, especially during COVID, it just makes him such a remarkable guy.
Oscar. Yeah, that's what I would call another lit table right there. So nice. Now it's third period. We're playing Roblox, and this is Simon.
Simon's one of my best friends. He and I can relate to each other in that our lives at home may not be the best, so we both utilize our friendships and relationships at school as kind of an outlet for that type of thing. We have grown much closer to each other this year, but at core, He's the exact same person and is very good at making jokes that are both absolutely hilarious and absolutely horrible at the same time.
What's up? And this is Burke again. You've already met Burke, I think. And we're playing Murder Mystery 2. And we're gonna kill and shoot some people to death. So, well, in the game. Not in real life, of course. In the game. But, yeah. What's wrong? What's wrong?
So after lunch and assembly, we'll sometimes have advisory. Every student is assigned an advisor who's a member of the school faculty. In advisory, most students usually just take surveys about whatever mental health or what's going on, and just talk about what's been going on in their lives and if they have any problems and so on. Our advisory is led by Miss Soden, who is my 9th grade Algebra 2 teacher. So sadly for her, she also has to deal with a Jake Bulgen and Kate in her advisory, and the two of them like to get in rather long arguments about religion and Christianity and whatever you name it.
What's wrong?
Yo, got my boy Jake Bulgen.
Uh-huh.
His computer doesn't work.
Yeah, because you probably destroyed.
No place is ever safe from the antics of that Jake Bulgen kid. For example, at the last advisory, he went around chasing Miss Soden with markers and then decided to draw inappropriate things on the wall because he still has the mentality of a 5-year-old.
Dude, it was fine second period. You probably destroyed it.
Look, clearly isn't right now.
Destroyed it, bro.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Lame. Hey, what's up, guys? So that's all the content that I have for this vlog. So I know it wasn't as much as my other vlogs, but I've just really covered everything else, I guess, in the other 2 vlogs of our school day. However, I didn't cover the classes specifically as well as I thought I could have. So yeah, it's Morgan. We're in Portugal. Morgan's my roommate. So I am going to refilm all of my classes and revlog them at some time in April. So just keep your eyes tuned. So what I probably will do is I'll film a certain class on a certain day. Like, wait until there's a pretty certain activity in a class and just not film on the same day because I might have a test in one class. And if I have a test in one class, all of the filming goes to shit. So maybe, like, for example, I'll film Spanish on the day that we have a debate because I know Meryl's a huge fan of those. And maybe I'll film math class on a day where we're just doing a lesson and just nobody. And as soon as I realize that nobody has any clue what's going on, I'll just pull my phone out and just start filming. But obviously, I'm going to ask for permission this time around, but I think now that I've been doing at this for a while, I think I could do a much better job if I did all of them again compared to what I did before with all the knowledge and stuff that I know now. And also, one of the biggest kickers for me was filming everything in 4K at 60 frames per second. That wastes so much more space than if I film in 1080p when I'm basically losing no quality. So filming in 1080p is going to for one, actually allow me to use my video editor well because my video editor does not process 4K well. And 2, it'll allow me to save a lot of space on my phone. So I have a better idea of what I should do going on, and I'm going to have another whirl at it because I think I can do a much better job. But for now, I hope you really enjoy this video, and peace.
For the whole thing?
Yeah, one more thing. So Morgan has a message.
Look out for part 4.
Yes, sir. Adios. Bon dia, Portugal, Ronaldo.